Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Roydell. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are doing not even chapter one, I guess it is, the introduction for the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Why are we doing this on this channel? This is part of the playlist. This is actually video one of the playlist. So I made a promise to myself, if I want people to be authentic and show themselves and show the process, when I press play, I have to let this video go, especially at the beginning. People have to see what it is that's going on. So on my YouTube channel, I'll actually show you. Just give me one sec here. On my YouTube channel that has no videos currently, with one subscriber being my girlfriend, I have a playlist, and that playlist is called Roydell Reads Soloist Chapter by Chapter Explorations. So this is going to be the first real installment within that playlist. And what it is I'm going to do in this playlist is read chapter by chapter. Now, there's two ways I'm going to do that. One, it requires Audible, which is actually listening, but I do have physical books that I do read. And so I will be reading more than one book at a time. This will help show people the process. They say learn and, you should do a lot of reading. I'm showing people what it is that I do, but you don't have to just read. You don't have to just read. You can listen. You can find different ways to get the information, but you can also pair that information with other things that you want to do, right? Compound your time. And that is why you see me in this jersey that I am, because as I listen to this audiobook, I will be doing a light workout as well, just of my arms with dumbbell, and then I'll come back to pen and paper, write down certain things that come to mind, and then we will discuss it. So that's what it is we're going to do in this video. I'll probably do a time skip in future videos for this. I don't want to get copyright strike for the Start With Why, so I'm actually going to put it in my ears, and that's how we're going to do. So there's going to be a point in time where you should skip this video. But yeah, so introduction, Start With Why. He actually has an introduction, Start With Why, and then you have two subparts there, section 1 and 2, before part A, which I guess is where the book really starts. So what I'm going to do is, for the introduction, Start With Why. That's 1 minute. Section 1, which is 2 minutes, and section 2, which is 10 minutes. I'll make notes on that here, and I will give my thoughts at the end of that. And really what I want to do with this playlist, because this is kind of serving as the introduction video for this, is I really want to show people that you can do multiple different things. It doesn't matter. You don't just have to do one thing. There's ways to do multiple and put it all together. And if what I want is to help people bridge their passions and potential, then I would have to showcase that to them. And this is one of those ways. So we're going to read. My goal is to have 100 books reviewed on this channel, chapter by chapter, and show you the different things that I'm doing in accordance, in tangent, in parallel with the reading, right? So there's ways you can do that. So that's what it's about. So I'm going to get my headphones now. I'm going to step back, pick up the weights, listen to the audio. If I have any thoughts I want to express, put it on paper, and give my insight after this. I know in future videos, I will edit it, as I said, speed it up, that sort of deal. But yeah, actually, I'm overthinking it again. Again, you're seeing the very beginning of it. I don't want to leave any of this out, because in 2 years, when it's all polished, you guys can look back and say, oh man, he kept that energy the entire time. All right, so that's it. Let's get this going. I Start With Why by Robert by Simon Sinek. Let's do it. let's get back to it. So I actually changed my mind. If I'm going to do a workout, man, I do not know if I could do 15 minutes with just the doorbell. I feel my lats, and I think the point is proven for now while I develop it. But I was able to get through the introduction, why start with why, and section 1 of the book by Simon Sinek, Start With Why. And I do have a couple of notes on it. One of the things I know right away, if I'm going to be showing this in a video, I need to make sure I get my water bottle in here. That's the first thing. And give it a little bit of time to catch my breath, but we're going to get through it. So this book is a book, I want to start off by saying, that I read a long time ago. I would say about 15 years ago, 12 years ago. It's been a long time, and I think it's one of those seminal books that everybody should read. And it's one of the major reasons why I've taken the approach that I have with this channel, with my website, but with how I'm going to go about my life and communicating with people. And one of the main things he says, and I'm sure he's going to say it at some point, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. As far as the introduction goes, he speaks about Samuel Pierre. And Samuel Pierre was a math professor. He had all the degrees. He had a team around him, and he was looking to create the first flying airplane. He had a $50,000 fund is what Simon is speaking about in here. He had all these degreed staff, highly accomplished individuals around him to create this. And yet they were not the ones that actually created the first flying vehicles. Just down the street, there was 2 Wright brothers, and this is what he speaks about. 2 Wright brothers who had no advanced degree that had this dying passion to want to do this. And that was their interest. It wasn't because they were funded heavily. It's not because there was financial interest in this. They just really wanted to create this. And what had happened is that in a humble bicycle shop, damn, I really need to get some water. Hold on. In a humble bicycle shop, I did get my water. These videos are so terrible. Trust me, I know how terrible these videos are going to look, at least in my mind, but I think they will prove to be a gem in time and show a level of authenticity that I was from the beginning really keen on keeping. Okay. It showed that these 2 individuals, these brothers that didn't have anything but passion and drive, were not funded, were not university grads, didn't have a team around them that were university graduates. And at that time, it's not the same thing as now. Remember, this is a day and age where information was not readily available. The internet, the shared economy came out and became a thing. The reason being is because people didn't have access to these to this information. They were behind books. They were in libraries. This Samuel Pierre had went to Harvard, and so he had access to this information, the research, the best at that time. And so these 2 brothers in a bicycle shop, making do with what they had, trying to make this happen, inspired many people around them that didn't have a degree or anything like that, but were so inspired by their mission, galvanized around these 2 because they understand why they were doing it, right? They were passionate about it. They wanted to have this invention and create something, right? But really from a point of curiosity and belief that this could be something that could happen versus say other reasons, right? So that's really what he's discussing as far as the introduction goes. That's what I have here. I did have other notes because I did want to get to section 2. He then goes into some other things, and I said, you know what, let me just stop it there. I don't want this video to go long. So as far as the introduction, he's really trying to drive home the point that people start with why. So far in this, he doesn't explain why that is the case, but those that start with why are in a very different bracket than those that don't. And obviously that's the title of this book. And he starts off with the Wright brothers, who, unlike the funded and degree counterparts, started with why, as he says at the end of the section 1, and yet they were the ones that were able to create the first flying vehicle. Without the funds, without the degrees, without the team behind him, without all of the things that you are supposed to have to get it done. And the thing that I believe Simon attributes this to is that they were able to inspire the people that were working with them, inspire those that are around them, and with that inspiration are able to come up with solutions, and instead of finding problems, find the solutions, right? Instead of looking at it and say, hey, I have my degree, this doesn't work. Because of the inspiration, they make it work. And that's exactly what they did. They made something work. They made the airplane work. And it's because they started with why. Why inspired inspiration. Why inspired a team. And that team was able to get it done because of them starting with why versus starting with funds and other things. So it doesn't really go further beyond that. That's where the intro is. I try to use this video as an introduction, which I'm feeling I should actually create an introduction video for the playlist entirely. So I apologize for that for those who are coming here to read just a chapter. I will make sure that in future chapters, I stick to just that chapter review alone. And yeah, so that's what I want. Very rough. In a year's time, it'll be very cringy to watch this video, but you have to start somewhere. I'm starting here. I'm getting the videos out regardless. 0 subscribers. Getting the video out, getting the concept out. I do want to showcase you can do other things at the same time. I got in a little bit of a workout, but you can work on your mind and your body at the same time. And you can also share this and help people. There's ways to have it be a win-win-win. It takes time to put it together, but trust the process, and that's what I'm doing. So I'll leave it here. Thank you guys for watching. Roydell Clarke, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.